Hey guys, welcome back to another Unfiltered Gamer Kickstarter card game review. Today's game on the table is Walk on Fire. Walk on Fire is made by Green Couch Games. It's for 2 to 4 players, about a half an hour for ages 8 and up. This game is a similar party-style game as Sushi Go, where players will try and collect cards and obtain little sets to score points at the end of the game. It's really interesting, and I think you guys might just like it. Let's check it out. So here's what it looks like when you're setting up Walk on Fire. Each player will get a spatula card. Then you give every single player a reference card as far as scoring points goes. And you get 26 cards, or a different variation based on the number of players, and you spread them out along the table in a circular fashion like this. Now that the board is set up, the next thing you need to do is determine a starting player. The person who last used a spatula is the one who gets to go first. In Walk on Fire, there are 3 different phases. The first phase being the stir-fry phase, where you take your spatula and you flip over cards and try and turn them over. You can do that twice. Then there's the pickup phase. Any cards that are left flipped over, you can choose 2 of those cards and put them into your hand. And the third phase is the chop phase, where you take the remaining cards in your deck that you haven't placed on the table and chop them onto the board like this. Alright, so here's an example of the first phase, the stir-fry phase. The teal player will get to go first and place his spatula underneath the walk cards. He will then flip them over and do so a second time. Afterwards, he has completed the stir-fry phase step. Now during the stir-fry phase, there are a few kind of crucial things that can happen. One of them being the green onion can pop up. If this card pops up, players are forced to take this card, but they are given the opportunity to stir-fry again, as well as pick up another card. Now green onions can make you lose 5 points at the end of the game, but they can also help you in combination with other cards involved scoring points. Now, heading back to the teal player's turn. He is on the pickup stage, but before he can pick up anything, he has to take this green onion card. Thusly, he is then forced to use his spatula and flip over another card. Now that he's done that, he has to choose 2 cards on the field. So he will select these 2 garlic pieces to use in combination later. Afterwards, we move on to the chop phase. Now that teal has completed his stir-fry phase and pickup phase, the last thing he has to do is chop. He'll take the remaining deck of cards, and he will slice them onto the table like this. Afterwards, his turn is complete. So that is just one example of a turn. Afterwards, play passes to the left and continues until the entire remaining deck of cards has been placed onto the field. Afterwards, players will get 1 turn apiece, and then scoring begins. So this is one player's example of a scoring phase for the end of the game, being the orange player. The orange player has collected onions, a chili pepper and a green pepper, a noodle bowl, chicken, pork, and shrimp. The onions are worth more for each one you get, this being 15 because there's 3 of them. The chili pepper and the green pepper together are worth 10 points, and it also negates the negative 5 points that the green pepper would have had it been alone. The noodle bowl, being 4 cards, is worth 25, and if he had the rice bowl, it would be worth 15, with only 3 cards. He also has chicken, which is interesting because it's only worth 2 points, but for each one you pick up during your turn, you collect all the other ones for free. The pork, which are worth 3 points, but if you have the most of them at the end of the game, you get an additional 5, and the shrimp being 4 points and being the most expensive card in the game. Afterwards, you take all these cards, you add up all the points, and so does every other player, and the player with the most amount of points at the end of the game wins. That's basically how you play Walk on Fire. People will stir-fry, they'll pick up, they'll chop, and then they're going to score points. There's not much more to it, and it's a short little game. But is it fun? Let's find out. Alright guys, so Walk on Fire. This game is fun. The theme works, it's quick to play, and the art is simplistic, yet really awesome at the same time. This game has this kind of aspect where you're playing with your little spatula, trying to flip over the different pieces of meat and different pieces of vegetables in this circular style walk. And you don't want the cards to fly out of the walk, because if they do, you can't actually pick them up, as well as avoiding other cards or giving those cards to your opponents to negate them points later in the game. Now, the game is quick, you never feel like you're waiting too long, and even when it's not your turn, you want to know what other players have, so that way you can try and determine what you want to pick up or make sure that they don't get on their turn. Green Couch Games has made some really good games in the past, but this one is a knock out of the park. It is wonderful. I have literally placed Sushi Go out of my collection because these games are very similar in the sense that you're trying to collect cards and flip over cards And instead of passing them, your hand is basically on the table, and whatever cards you don't choose, your opponent gets to pick. So in that aspect, Sushi Go is done for, and Walk on Fire is the one I am keeping. Overall, this game is extremely fun, and I really recommend you checking it out. The link for where to get it is below. Alright guys, this has been another Unfiltered Gamer Kickstarter card game review. If you like this video, go ahead and check out the rest of our videos here on YouTube, and like, subscribe, and comment. If you like board game giveaways, as well as blog posts and a huge Kickstarter list, go to unfilteredgamer.com. I know how hard it can be to find games on Kickstarter, especially with their terrible search function, so we have done it for you. You scroll down the list and figure out which game you would like to purchase, or if they are interesting to you at all. Also, check out our affiliates / sponsors, everythingboardgames.com, as well as thegiveawaygeek.com. They do a lot of board game posts, as well as tons and tons of giveaways, even more than my site. So thank you guys for seeing the video, and we look forward to seeing you guys next time. We'll go ahead and give you a little check out. God damn, at the very end there. Only thing I want to say. Welcome back to another Kickstarter and I started slapping them across the table with your hand or palm, and then put them off. Man, it was good too. All right, and I'll talk about green onions.
Green peppers.
Or green peppers.